Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's Natalie, it's Hot Shot Adventures. Welcome back. It's time to go over some frustrations that a lot of us carriers are having and experiencing right now. Are you guys tired of fighting the load boards for scraps? Are you guys tired of brokers not doing their job as well as they could or should, and you having to pick up the pieces just in order to service the load and get from point A to point B and get paid for that load? I'm not here to bash brokers. We all have to eat. We're all here to make a dollar. I know I get frustrated when a private party or a shipper happens to share with me how much they paid for the shipping costs, and I know how much I made off of the load, especially when diesel is as high as it is. I am in a market that is very expensive to operate in California. Diesel is $6.95 a gallon in Southern California right now, and that is just the way that it is. So I've been really trying to shorten my trips, keep a small circle in order to keep my diesel costs down, in order to keep my mileage down, but still turn a profit. So that's one of the things that I've been trying to do. That's one of the things that I preach on Patreon. Right now, it's harder than ever to turn a profit. And the reason for that is because the expenses are very high right now. There are good brokers out there. There are fair brokerages to work with. You still have to get on a load board in order to book those loads. Load boards equal leftovers. I have said it once, I will say it again. Load boards equal leftovers. What you see posted on the load board is what a shipper couldn't cover themselves with their maybe handful of carriers that they utilize. Then they outsourced it to a broker, and whatever loads that are on the load board are whatever loads that the broker did not immediately throw to their select carriers that they're already set up with, that they like to work with. Then the broker posts it on the load board. What that means for us is if we're all fighting the load board for the same leftovers, that's the least amount of money that is going to be paid for a load, is what is posted on the load board. Yes, there's room for negotiation even now, and I strongly suggest, I've always suggested to negotiate. However, it can be very frustrating to fight the load board just to get your trailer full and then realize you drove this full trailer 500 miles or 1,000 miles or 2,500 miles, and with the cost of diesel and the time that it took you to run those loads and the maintenance that is involved in having to run those loads, our profit margins are really small right now, or they could be really small right now. In order to circumvent that, you guys, now is the time. Please park your truck, go do some research on some shippers and some manufacturers and some companies right now in your area. Go drive around with your business cards. Try and find some direct customers. I have been approached more now in the recent past, in the last couple months. I have been approached more than I have ever before. Why is that? I haven't gotten any younger. I haven't gotten any thinner. My equipment hasn't gotten any newer. Nothing has changed. Okay, what has changed, right? What has changed? Well, the costs. Brokers are telling shippers what the cost is, and they are building up the costs, and they are giving reasons such as, well, shipper, the diesel is $7 a gallon, so it's going to cost this much or this much. Well, there's a driver shortage, so there's not enough trucks, so I'm going to have to charge you more, shipper, in order to get your load serviced, get it from point A to point B. I'm going to have to charge more because there's no drivers in order to run your loads. And the shippers, whether they know the truth or whether they are just believing these brokers, they're falling for it. And so these brokers are getting shippers to agree to a certain high amount of shipping costs, and they're going on the load board, they're posting up these loads, and they're making 50%. They're putting 50% up to, I've even seen more. I had a partial load. I made $700 off of it, and the receiver who actually paid for the shipping costs, he told me he paid $1,500, and the broker posted the load on the load board for $600. I asked her for $7 for me, which was fair, and she didn't even want to give me $7. She wanted to give me, well, can you do it for $650? I'm like, no, you got my number. Call me back if you want to do it for $7. I'll pick it up today, drop it off tomorrow, and we're done. You got a good carrier if you want to do it. And I let it go. And she called me back. She texted me 10 minutes later. Yeah, we could do it for $7. You know how upset I was? How frustrated I was when I dropped that load off to the receiver and he told me, yeah, I paid $1,500 to ship this. I would rather not know. I would rather not know, because it is so frustrating right now. And again, that was off of the load board. A broker I had never worked with before, off of the load board, and it is what it is. She made more money than I did on the load, and I'm the one out here spinning my wheels, buying $1,500 worth of tires, $300 oil changes, diesel $7 a gallon. I'm out here doing the work, and she made more money than me. And that is happening more so than not these days. And the reason is because the current state of the market, the state of the country, the state of diesel, all of these factors are allowing brokers to have better reasons to charge more. They're not trickling that money down to us carriers, and it's really unfortunate, and it can be very frustrating. Now is the time, you guys. Go after direct customers. I will share this with you. About 50% of the freight that I am hauling right now is direct customers. And the reason for that is because I am getting a more fair rate, and I am able to pre-plan my week and my month around direct customers, and it's more profitable for my business to service my direct customers than it is to jump on a load board and fight for leftovers and fight for that extra $100 on the rate. It's more fair for me. And now I have been approached so much. Cars, freight, private parties have reached out to me and asked me, hey, do you deal direct? Would you like to, can you run loads? I dropped off a little box van. You guys saw that in Vegas recently. The gentleman, the receiver, it was off the load board. It was $500 bill. It was over $2 a mile for me, so it was very fair rate for me off of the load board. But I had the gentleman reach out to me and ask me if it was a regular lane of mine, and he said, I'll pay you $550 a car. How many cars can you haul? A lot of times the cars are all coming out of the same place, and I just need them brought to my car dealership here in Vegas as quickly as possible. The market is good, but not if you only run off of the load boards. Please do yourselves a favor. Do your company a favor. Do some research. Park your truck. Stop trying to fight the load boards. Do some research on what's in your area and find some direct customers. You don't need a ton. If you're one truck, one trailer, 2 direct customers can fill the majority of your trailer. And after, if you have a little bit of space or if you need a backhaul, then jump on the load board, then work on that. That's how I run my company, and that's how I'm staying afloat right now, you guys. It's not a big secret. It's not a big surprise. If you're tired of the load board, you don't like their games, get off of it. Stop fighting it. You don't like those rules? Don't play by those rules. Don't play that game anymore. Go play your own game. It's always been in my business motto and my business plan that I would go after direct customers. And now more than ever, they keep thanking me. They keep thanking me. Thank you, Natalie, so much. I appreciate everything you're doing. I'm thanking them. I'm like, no, thank you. Thank you. You guys are giving me a fair rate. You're allowing me the opportunity to quote and pick and choose whatever loads I can do for the week to fill my trucks and trailers, to fill Ruben and I, to fill our plate. And I'm able to pre-plan. I'm able to work around, their schedule, my schedule. So much flexibility comes from working with my direct customers, and really, honestly, that's how I am staying afloat right now, because the load boards, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it for me. I have a couple direct customers and I am working on getting more, and That's how I'm able to stay afloat. So you guys, before you go under, do yourselves a favor. Do some research, find some DCs, get a more fair rate. All of the loads, all of the good loads, the great loads, you're not going to find them on the load board. They're not there. Somebody already picked them up well before they were even a thought in anybody's mind to post it on the load board. Yeah, every once in a while, you get a good one, okay? You get a good one. I hope I'm not ruffling too many feathers. There is still a purpose for the load boards. There's still a purpose for the brokers, but not 100% of the time. Do yourselves a favor, find some DCs. If you're a car hauler right now, oh my God, the market is crazy. Betty and I did a run to Vegas, and we were sitting down at a dealership waiting for a porter to grab our vehicle and bring it to us. And a guy just happened to, one of the sales guys just happened to walk by in Vegas at a big dealership, big Jeep, Dodge, Ram, whatever dealership. And he was telling us, just small talk, he said, man, from Texas to Vegas, they want to charge $2,500 to move a car. I mean, I had to pick up my jaw from the floor, because there's no way any of us are getting $2,500 to move a car from even Houston to Vegas. There's no way. You don't see that. For one car, no way. Somebody's pocketing the majority of that, and they're selling it to a carrier at $1,000, and somebody's making $1,500 on that move. And it's a shame, because we're the ones out here doing the work and paying for all of the costs and dealing with DOT and having to, just run by all of these rules and regulations. And there really isn't. It's an open market for us, and it's an open market for the brokers. They're trying to make as much as they can, and we're out here trying to make as much as we can. And when the rules and the game are no longer fair for you, play a different game. Go make up your own rules. Go find some people that want to work with you and save your business. Because right now, there's a ton of hotshots that are going under, a ton of them, because there is just no profit in it. They're making just enough to pay the bills. And then when it comes to paying themselves or paying their personal bills, their hotshot company hasn't made enough money in order to pay their mortgage or pay their feed bill, my horses, I mean, it's just one of those things that it's not the only way to operate, you guys. It's not the only way to operate. Please do yourselves a favor, find a different way before you too go under. Stay safe out there, you guys. Get a good fuel card and keep your miles short, and go out there and knock on some doors and play by your own rules.